Bella Vista Villa Chung Chau. The legend of Bella Vista Villa on Chung Chau Island is one of Hong Kong's most infamous and chilling urban legends. Once a popular seaside getaway, it is now widely known as the resort of charcoal suicide. The Woman in Red. The incident: a woman, allegedly suffering from marital problems or a messy divorce, checked into one of the villas. She first killed her young son before taking her own life. The attire: she was found wearing a traditional red Chinese dress, cheongsam. In local folklore, dying while wearing red is believed to ensure the spirit returns as a powerful, vengeful ghost. Sightings: since then, visitors and locals have reported seeing a ghostly female figure, sometimes accompanied by a young boy, wandering the villa paths or lingering on the nearby Tung Wan beach. The villa's reputation darkened further in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Copycat deaths: following the initial tragedy, a string of suicides occurred at the resort, many involving charcoal burning to induce carbon monoxide poisoning. Grim statistics: within a single decade, over a dozen deaths were recorded, including a high-profile case in 2002 where 3 teenagers were found in a single room. Renaming: in an attempt to shed its macabre image, parts of the complex were reportedly renamed to Yusts who still choose to stay at the villas, often drawn by low prices or the horror atmosphere, have reported strange occurrences. Ghostly activities: televisions turning on and off by themselves, missing mahjong tiles, and the sound of wailing or mysterious footsteps. Negative energy: some visitors describe an overwhelming sense of negative energy or a heavy, humid atmosphere that makes it difficult to sleep. Despite its dark history, the villas remain a curious destination for thrill seekers who visit the island specifically to watch horror movies or explore the grounds at night. Bridges Street YMCA Sheung Wan. The YMCA on Bridges Street is known to many as housing the city's first indoor pool, but it has a darker origin story dating back to the mid-20th century. Japanese forces occupying the territory at the time used buildings on Bridges Street as barracks. When the Japanese army surrendered at the end of World War II, it is said that several soldiers committed suicide in the barracks to avoid being tried for war crimes. Passers-by have reported hearing sounds of military marching and cries coming from the YMCA building. World War II tragedy: local legends claim that during the occupation, the building was used by Japanese forces as a headquarters or barracks. It is widely rumored that several Japanese soldiers committed suicide within the premises following their surrender in 1945. Paranormal activity: residents and visitors have reported eerie phenomena over the decades, including the sound of heavy military boots marching through the corridors at night, muffled sounds of crying or sobbing echoing from the empty halls, sightings of shadowy figures dressed in military uniforms patrolling the area. Historical context: built in 1918, the structure itself is an architectural marvel, a Grade I historic building blending Chicago school and traditional Chinese styles. It housed Hong Kong's first indoor swimming pool and elevated running track, adding to its labyrinthine and atmospheric feel. What could be a highly desired property on the Peak is considered Hong Kong's most haunted house. Estimated to have been built in the 1920s, the original owner of Dragon Lodge Mansion went bankrupt, passing to a new owner who died inside the house. The third occupants were the Japanese army, some of whom reportedly decapitated Catholic nuns in the front yard. At one point, the property was set to be redeveloped by Hudson Group. However, the project was abandoned because workers were convinced the site was haunted. Pictures taken by the anonymous urban exploration group Urbex show gruesome scratches all over the wallpaper, moldy mattresses, and an exterior overtaken by vines and overgrown grass. Dragon Lodge, located at 32 Luggard Road on Victoria Peak, is widely considered the most haunted house in Hong Kong. Despite being situated on some of the world's most expensive real estate, the mansion has sat derelict for decades due to its dark history. The decapitated nuns. The most chilling legend stems from World War II. It is claimed that Japanese soldiers occupied the house and decapitated several Catholic nuns in the front courtyard. The crying child. Former residents and urban explorers have reported hearing the unseen cries of a child echoing through the halls, often described as sounding sorrowful or asking for help. Failed renovations. Construction crews hired to restore the property frequently abandoned the site. Workers claimed to witness ghostly apparitions and experienced strange equipment failures, leading many to believe the land itself is cursed. Tragic ownership. Local lore says the original owner went bankrupt, and the second owner died unexpectedly inside the house, further cementing its reputation for bad feng shui. The house was last sold in 2004 for $76 million but remains a skeleton of a building, covered in graffiti and guarded by barbed wire to deter ghost hunters and thrill seekers. Are you interested in the historical owners of the property, or would you like to know about other haunted spots along the peak's hiking trails? Mong Manway Building. The Mong Manway Building at the Chinese University of Hong Kong is the subject of one of the university's most chilling urban legends. The core of the ghost story centers on the building's second floor. The former morgue. Rumor has it that the second floor was originally used as a morgue or cadaver storage facility to provide bodies for medical and science students to study. The phantom floor. Students often report an eerie chill when the elevator passes the second floor. More frighteningly, many claim the elevator doors will occasionally open on the second floor on their own, even though there is no button to select that floor, only to reveal a blank wall or a dark, inaccessible space. Corridor sightings. Some versions of the tale describe the doors opening to reveal a spectral corridor where people are seen pushing carts, as if the morgue were still in operation. Temporal anomalies. It is a common campus belief that the elevator takes unusually long to pass the second floor compared to any other level. Experience. This bright yellow building, situated on a hillside at Chinese University, has been home to the biochemistry department since 1998. There is a rumor that the building's second floor used to be a morgue, which provided bodies for science students to study. To this day, many students feel an eerie chill when they take the lift past the second floor. Sometimes, at night, the door opens to a blank wall, despite there being no button to press for the second floor, says Amy Tsung, a CUHK student. Molly 4, another CUHK student, says, I heard a student once said the elevator door opened to reveal a corridor with people pushing carts around, like it was still a morgue. Mount Davis is known not only for its historical military strategic location but also as one of the city's most haunted places. The 1960s. Urban legend of the Big Head Monster tells the story of a monstrous baby born with an abnormally large head, who allegedly devoured its mother before being buried at Mount Davis. Later, during war game sessions at the site's old military bunkers, participants reported sightings of ghostly soldiers in World War II Japanese uniforms, with some describing encounters with eerie, transparent figures. Another spine-chilling rumor from taxi drivers involves picking up a ghostly passenger at night, only to realize the passenger was not human when they mysteriously vanished mid-journey. Mount Davis, located in Hong Kong's Western District, is one of the city's most notorious haunted sites, largely due to its bloody World War II history. The Batteries. The primary source of these ghost stories is the Mount Davis Battery, a former British military coastal defense site. The mass graves. Local legend suggests the presence of unmarked mass graves on the mountain from the heavy bombardment and subsequent casualties during the 1941 Battle of Hong Kong. The white-clothed woman. Hikers and urban explorers have reported sightings of a woman in white or gray clothes wandering the ruins. The soldiers' echoes. Visitors frequently report hearing unexplained footsteps, whispers, and metallic sounds within the abandoned bunkers and command centers. The eerie atmosphere is amplified by the Jubilee Battery and the military ruins that are now overgrown by dense vegetation. The site was a major target for Japanese forces and was eventually destroyed and decommissioned by its own guarding force to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. Are you looking for a specific encounter from a local forum, or do you want directions to visit the ruins yourself? Nam Koo Terrace. A historic building in Wan Chai, is said by witnesses to be haunted by female ghosts said to have died in the time the building allegedly served as a Japanese military brothel. Located in Wan Chai, Nam Koo Terrace is one of Hong Kong's most notorious haunted houses. Its reputation stems from a mix of dark wartime history and a highly publicized paranormal incident. Dark history. Built in 1915 by a wealthy Shanghai SF family, the mansion's curse is often linked to the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong. Military brothel. The Japanese military reportedly seized the building and used it as a comfort house where women were held as sex slaves and subjected to torture. Basement mortuary. Rumors suggest the basement was used as a temporary mortuary for those who died within its walls. The 2003 ghost hunting incident. The house became a modern legend on November 30, 2003. When a group of 8 middle school students broke in to hunt for ghosts. The possession. According to reports in the Oriental Daily, 3 of the girls became emotionally unstable, claiming they were being assailed by a spirit. Police intervention. 1 girl reportedly became violent and possessed, requiring several police officers to restrain her. All 3 were eventually sent for psychiatric treatment. Paranormal activity. The headless spirits. Sightings of headless women wandering the rooms at night. Ghostly flames. Witnesses have reported seeing green smoke or eerie flames inside the building, though skeptics suggest these were fires lit by vagrants. Disembodied screams. Passers-by on Ship Street have frequently reported hearing the cries and screams of women coming from the empty mansion. Despite its spooky reputation, the building is a Grade I historic building. Recent redevelopment plans aim to preserve the structure and potentially convert it into a wedding venue or residential space, though developers acknowledge the challenge of marketing a site with such a famous haunted history. Are you interested in visiting the site yourself, or would you like to hear about other haunted locations in Wan Chai? Located in Tsim Sha Tsui, the site was once an apartment before it got demolished in 2012 and rebuilt as hotel in 2016. The site was known for the infamous Hello Kitty murder that took place in 1999. For months after the slaying, CCTVs in the area captured a female form lurking in the shops long after closing hours. The ghost story associated with 31 Granville Road in Tsim Sha Tsui, Hong Kong, stems from the gruesome Hello Kitty murder of 1999. The incident. In 1999, 23-year-old Fan Manyi was kidnapped, tortured for a month, and murdered in a third-floor flat at this address. To hide the crime, her captors dismembered her body. Most notoriously, her skull was sewn inside a Hello Kitty mermaid plush doll. Reported hauntings. The building gained a reputation for being one of Hong Kong's most haunted locations due to several reported paranormal occurrences. The informant's vision. The case only came to light when a 14-year-old girl involved in the crime confessed to police, claiming she was being haunted by the ghost of a woman she believed was Fan Manyi. CCTV sightings. Rumors persisted that security cameras captured images of a ghostly female figure standing outside the building's entrance. Window apparitions. Passers-by and residents in the area reported seeing a floating Hello Kitty head or a woman's face appearing in the windows of the abandoned apartment. Eerie noises. Neighbors reportedly heard screams, weeping, and the sound of something heavy being dragged long after the apartment was empty. Current status. The original building at 31 Granville Road was demolished in 2012. It has since been replaced by a hotel, The Attitude on Granville, but local urban legends and ghost tours continue to reference the site's dark history. Sai Ying Pun Community Complex. Located on High Street in Sai Ying Pun, is said to be haunted due to the fact that it served as a nurse's dormitory before World War II. A place of execution by the Japanese forces during the war, and a mental hospital from the post-war era until the 1970s. Sai Ying Pun Community Complex, famously known as the High Street Ghost House, is one of Hong Kong's most notorious haunted landmarks. Its reputation stems from a dark history involving wartime executions, its use as a mental asylum, and multiple devastating fires. Ghost stories and sightings. Headless phantoms. Numerous reports describe headless figures wandering the building's corridors at night. These are often attributed to individuals allegedly executed there during the Japanese occupation. The Burning Man. A recurring legend features a devil-like man in traditional Chinese clothing who appears on the second floor and suddenly bursts into flames. Wailing and unseen footsteps. Residents and visitors have reported hearing heavy footsteps and the sound of a woman crying in agony at midnight, believed to be the spirit of a former patient or victim. The Mass Grave. Local lore suggests that King George V Memorial Park, located directly across the street, served as a mass grave for those executed in the building during World War II. The hauntings. The building's spooky reputation is rooted in several grim eras. Wartime execution site. During the Japanese occupation, 1941 to 1945, the building was reportedly used as an execution hall. Mental asylum. 1947 to 1961. After the war, it became a psychiatric hospital. Stories of patient suffering, suicides, and primitive treatments like lobotomies added to its dark aura. Abandoned ruin. The building was abandoned in 1971 and stood derelict for 20 years. During this time, it was damaged by 2 major fires, rumored to have been started by trespassers or drug addicts, which left it as a charred shell until its 1990s renovation. Modern context. Today, only the original early Baroque facade and arched veranda remain, with a modern community center built behind it. Despite its active use by charities and government offices, it remains a popular destination for ghost hunters and photographers. In early 2026, it continues to be featured in legends and local tours as one of the city's most haunted sites. Solopun New Territories Ghost Story. The legend of Solopun, located in the northeastern New Territories within Plover Cove Country Park, is one of Hong Kong's most enduring urban mysteries. The core legends. The Locked Compass. The name Solopun literally translates to locked compass. Hikers frequently report that their compasses stop working or spin uncontrollably upon entering the village, allegedly due to malevolent spirits or local magnetic interference. The Vanishing Villagers. One popular myth claims the entire population disappeared overnight, leaving food still sitting on their dining tables. The Wedding Tragedy. Another version tells of a group of villagers who died in a boat accident while traveling to a wedding, leading to a curse on the settlement. Fatal Encounters. Local lore includes stories of a visitor who supposedly died of a heart attack after witnessing ghosts in the abandoned ruins. The reality. Natural decline. Historically a Hakka village inhabited since roughly 872 AD, its abandonment was actually a gradual process during the 1970s and 80s. Most residents emigrated to the UK or moved to urban Hong Kong for better livelihoods. Compass interference. Modern explanations suggest the locked compass phenomenon may be due to the lack of phone signals and GPS in the remote valley, or simply a misinterpretation of its original name, Sonopun, which referred to the area's basin-like geography. Present day, the village remains a popular but eerie hiking destination. You can still see crumbling Hakka homes and a modern shrine maintained by former villagers who return periodically. Would you like the specific hiking route to visit Solopun, or are you more interested in other ghost villages nearby like Lai Chi Wo? Tat Tak School was opened to provide schooling to Pingshan villagers in Yuen Long District from 1974 to 1998. When the villagers resisted British eviction efforts, they were overcome and later buried on the site. Villagers fighting back against Japanese occupational forces were also killed and buried around the school. Further, shortly before the school closed, a headmistress wearing a red dress also supposedly committed suicide by hanging in one of the bathrooms. Rumors of an ominous energy and sightings of the headmistress ghost were already rampant when a group of students explored the school in 2001. One of them turning hysterical and biting her fellow classmate inside the building. Since then, Tat Tak has sat in ramshackle ruin of abandoned furniture and debris. The red-dressed ghost. The most famous tale involves a former school mistress, or the principal's wife, who reportedly committed suicide by hanging herself in a bathroom stall while wearing a red dress. Sightings of a woman in red are frequent among urban explorers. Historical mass graves. The school is situated near hillsides that allegedly served as mass graves for villagers killed during the Japanese occupation in 1941 or for those who resisted British forces in the 1899 Six-Day War. The 2011 possession incident, a well-documented event, involved 12 students who broke into the abandoned site. One girl reportedly saw the red-dressed ghost and became hysterical, attempting to strangle herself and biting her friends. Several students had to be hospitalized. War game sightings. Players of war games on the premises have reported seeing the ghost of a long-haired teacher wandering the halls. The school has been abandoned since 1998, and while it is boarded up, it remains a popular, though illegal and dangerous, destination for paranormal investigators. The Hong Kong Museum of Coastal Defense. In Shao Kei Wan served as a coastal fort during the Ming and Qing dynasties, as well as during the British rule and the Japanese occupation. Aside from ghosts of those died in battles, believers also claim of a white lady as well as mysterious half-body female ghosts. The Hong Kong Museum of Coastal Defense, recently renamed the Hong Kong Museum of the War of Resistance and Coastal Defense, is built upon the site of the former Lai Yu Mun Fort, which saw intense and bloody combat during the Japanese invasion of 1941. This violent history has fueled several enduring urban legends and ghost stories associated with the site. Ghostly sightings. The half-bodied woman, security guards and staff have reportedly seen a woman with waist-length hair who appears to have only the upper half of her body. The woman in white. Visitors and staff frequently report a mysterious woman dressed in white wandering through the museum's isolated grounds and long tunnels. Phantom screams. The sounds of women screaming have been heard echoing in the tunnels, despite no one being present. Haunted statues. Some visitors find the statue of the Indian guard outside the entrance particularly haunting or eerie. The museum is considered haunted. The spooky vibe is largely attributed to the museum's physical structure and tragic past. Wartime casualties. It is said to be haunted by the spirits of soldiers and civilians who died in battle during the Ming and Qing dynasties, British colonial rule, and the Japanese occupation. Atmosphere. The historical trail includes dark tunnels, isolated casemates, bunkers, and ruins that create a naturally chilling environment. Historical weight. The museum currently features exhibits on the Nanjing Massacre and the brutality of the War of Resistance, which adds a somber and heavy psychological layer for many visitors. The Parallel. A pub on Hollywood Road. In early February 2024, a young Thai YouTuber passed by this area with her boyfriend in daytime. She used his iPhone to take a selfie through the pub glass door. The image showed a ghostly pale-faced woman with long hair and a fashionable outfit standing behind in the form of holding onto her shoulder. Although it was noted whether it was someone who passed by that area known as photobomb. But she insists it was just her and her boyfriend at the time. The most prominent ghost story associated with the Parallel, a pub located on Hollywood Road in central Hong Kong, involves a viral spectral photograph captured in early 2024. Soho Ghost Incident. The modern legend began in February 2024 when a young Thai YouTuber was visiting the Soho area with her boyfriend. While passing the glass doors of the Parallel during the day, She used an iPhone to take a selfie. The apparition, the resulting image appeared to show a ghostly, pale-faced woman with long hair standing directly behind the YouTuber, appearing to hold onto her shoulder. The details, netizens noted the modern nature of the ghost, identifying her fashionable outfit as consisting of high-end brands like Turnbull and Acer, Zara, and Autry sneakers. The pub's reaction, following the photo going viral, the pub's management posted on Instagram, using the hashtag #SohoGhost, that they were attempting to recover CCTV footage to determine if the figure was a living person, a photo bomber, or something supernatural. They later claimed the relevant footage had mysteriously gone missing. Visiting the parallel. While the ghost remains a subject of debate, with many skeptics believing it was simply a passerby captured by the camera's shutter, the pub has leaned into the mystery, welcoming patrons who visit specifically to see the site of the viral photo. Location: The Parallel, G/F, 93, Hollywood Road Central, Hong Kong. Atmosphere: a trendy bar known for signature cocktails and its proximity to the historic antique shops and galleries of Hollywood Road. In Tai Po was once a popular picnic spot, before a deadly landslide in 1955 that killed 28 people. Believers claim the spirits of those perished haunting the area, especially in the vicinity of Manggui Bridge. The legend of Tsung Tsai Yun, located in Tai Po, Hong Kong, is rooted in a real-life tragedy known as the 1955 Tai Po landslide. On August 28, 1955, a group of students and teachers from St. James Settlement were on a picnic when a sudden, violent rainstorm caused a flash flood that swept 28 people to their deaths under the Manggui Ghost Bridge. Popular urban legends. The area has since become one of Hong Kong's most notorious haunted spots, with several recurring stories. The Midnight Bus Passenger. A common tale involves a bus driver passing the bridge at night. A woman with a pale, ashen face boards the empty bus and pays her fare. Later, the driver discovers the cash box contains only joss paper, sacrificial, spirit money. When the bus reaches the next stop, she vanishes, sometimes whispering a quiet thank you. The waving children. Drivers and hikers frequently report seeing mud-covered children standing by the roadside at night, waving or trying to flag down passing cars. Invisible playmates. Local families have claimed to see their children playing with invisible friends or holding hands with the air in the fields near the tragedy site. Paranormal activity. Paranormal investigators have filmed at the site, with one notable instance during the filming of the TV show The Unbelievable, where a participant reportedly became possessed by a water ghost near the river. To appease the restless spirits, the Tai Po Tsat Yuk Rural Committee erected a stone memorial plaque, known as the Placating the Flood Spirits Stone, near the entrance of the Tai Po Cow Nature Reserve. Despite government engineering projects to prevent further flooding, the area remains a fixture in Hong Kong's supernatural folklore. Are you looking for the exact location of the memorial stone today, or would you like to hear about other haunted bridges in Hong Kong? One of Hong Kong's major expressways is said by believers to be haunted. Many car accidents have been blamed by locals to the ghosts that suddenly appear along the middle of the expressway. Although authorities have cited narrow carriageways and substandard geometry to save construction costs as the reasons for these accidents, speed limits have been enforced for the expressway. Known as one of Hong Kong's most haunted locations, Tuen Mun Road is infamous for its high accident rate and chilling urban legends. Ghost stories and legends. Restless spirits of construction. Folklore suggests the road was built through ancient villages and burial sites. Workers reported missing tools, breaking equipment, and strange voices during construction in the 1970s. The sudden apparition. The most common tale involves a ghostly figure appearing suddenly in the middle of the road. Drivers reportedly swerve to avoid the figure, leading to fatal crashes. The first ghost. Some believe the road is haunted by the spirit of the very first person who died there in 1978, who now causes other accidents to recruit more spirits. Ghostly handprints. Chilling accounts from Brown Car Guy describe drivers finding mysterious handprints on their car bonnets after near misses or unexplained stops. Tragic history. The road's reputation was cemented by major tragedies, such as the 2003 bus accident where 21 people died after a double-decker bus plunged 35 meters off a bridge. Are you interested in more Hong Kong urban legends, or would you like to hear about other haunted roads around the world?